If you're currently struggling with your overhead because you've been told to point to the ball with your non-hitting hand, then I want you to do what Roger Federer does. I want you to turn with both hands on the racket. See, when the ball goes up in the air, we want to turn our shoulders. And one of the easiest ways to do that is to do what Federer does, where he turns and he keeps the non-hitting hand on the throat of the racket. From the side, it looks like this. Continental grip, racket near head level, non-hitting hand on the throat of the racket, and the strings pointing down. See, if you're someone who has your palm facing up, it's because you're pointing to the ball with on your overhead. Instead, turn with both hands, strings pointing down. That puts the racket in a palm down position so that you can make a circular move, passing the racket in over the head, hitting the birthday hat, and you're going to hit a much better overhead. I don't want you pointing to the overhead. I want you turning like Roger Federer with both hands. In fact, let's look at Federer hit an overhead right now. Now, this video is courtesy of Essential Tennis, so thank you so much, Ian, for letting me use this video. But did you see how Federer turned for this overhead? Look how his left hand is on the throat of the racket right here. Notice his strings are pointing down. We know that he has a continental grip, and his left hand is on the throat of the racket. You'll also see that the racket is near his head level. This is how you want to turn for an overhead, because it actually rotates your body so that the back of your front shoulder is visible to the opponent. Now, from here, you do want your non-hitting hand to go up. But it's not because you should be pointing at the ball. In fact, his arm is like this while his eyes are this way. He's not pointing at the ball at all. He's doing this as part of the throwing motion because he wants his arm to go out. Watch this. Watch his arm go out, and then his arm goes like this, and then it kind of tucks in against his body. Look how he pulls it in against his body. That slows the body's rotation down, which allows him to swing faster with less effort with his hitting arm. Let's watch the next overhead here. Look how he is turning with both hands on the racket. Now, Paul Annacone, if he knew that Federer should not have his left hand on the throat of the racket, but rather his arm should be up and pointing, he'd be telling him. But guess what? He's not changing this because this is what you want to do. You want to rotate your body so that the back of your front shoulder is visible to the opponent. And you do that by turning kind of like a football quarterback, turning with both hands on the football. It's the same thing. We can see that his strings are ever so slightly closed. His left hand is on the throat of the racket. His head and the racket head are at a similar height. Now his left arm goes up. But notice his left arm is up, and he's like looking at the ball. He's not pointing at the overhead. He is simply reaching up because watch his left arm. His left arm is going to go out and then tuck in against the body. Watch. His arm goes out toward the opponent, and then it pulls in against the body. Now, this is where I tell people to cross their arms, to actually cross their arms, kind of like the way Nadal finishes his serve, as a way to control the body. Now, he pulls this arm in, but then he moves it, so he actually never does cross his arms. But I want you to keep it crossed so that you know that you're tucking that arm in against the body. Please, no more pointing to the ball with your non-hitting hand. Turn with both hands. You can reach up with that hand, but not to point, and then reach out and tuck it in against your body. Now, if you're looking for people in your local area to play matches against or practice with, or if you want to find a coach who's close to you who can help you with your game, then use my link in the description and pinned in the first comment, playyourcourt.com/2minutetennis. When you use my link to sign up, you get 50% off. Stop pointing to the ball on your overhead. Rather, do what the pros do. Turn with both hands. You'll reach up, reach out, tuck it in against your body, and you will hit the best serves you ever have. You copy this technique and there's no doubt you're going to gain confidence, win more matches, and play much better tennis. This is Ryan Reedy from 2minutetennis.net. You got this.